Welcome to my presentation for APF-R, another functionality what I want to show with this video. So I showed in videos before about some deep sky images, and today and in this video I want to show something different. So have a closer look here. This is an image I took with my C14 of the moon with a Skyris camera. And I took a panel of two parts and combined this with Photoshop and use also APF-R for the sharpening procedure to make it final. I have a little bit of wavelet used before, and then I've finished my processing with the APF-R and Photoshop. And another image was last year was the Mercury transit, and the sun have some really beautiful spots. So let me show you this here, and these are some sunspots I took with a Nikon DF full format camera, a DSLR, and I use ocular for projection to make a longer focal length. So show you now the system for this. This was my system. It's a beautiful 95mm lens. Here you have the Herschel Prisma and the ocular and the image train. And here is my Nikon DF camera where I took the image. And let me show you what I want to do now with this image so that you can imagine what you can do with the data. So this is here starting at a pixel value, and I just already prepared my APF-R. 1.4 pixels, so I said it's a lower oversampling. The scene quality was good, so I go here to 100%. You can turn it on and off. So this is without, this is the original image, and here is with my sharpening. So what I do here now, and you notice functionality, I select them all and go to the filter panel and choose for converting to smart filters. Said okay. And if I have done this, I can really mixture my smart objects with the next step. And this is the way that I get a really enormous resolution, enormous details out of this small lens. It's fantastic because I know already the final image. So, you know, this is here my smart object, and go here to my layers, smart objects mode, and go to median. So here I have my median stack of my blurred layers, of my Gaussian blurred layers. And I go here, you know this functionality, go here to soft light. So we can zoom in for 200% now. This is on off. You can see the functionality. And then you already know what I'm doing now. Go one step ahead, one step out of the image. So I copy this layer 2 times. So I'm done this, and then I go here for the first copy of my median to my layers, go to smart objects, go to stable mode, and go to maximum. So I've just changed here the mode and go back to my second copy and back and said here smart object, stable mode, and go to minimum. So this is now the full go. I turn it off. That's without APF-R, and then I turn it on. This is now with APF-R. You can see the small structure or the surface of the sun, the sunspots, the umbra and penumbra, so you can see a lot of details. And I can go a step deeper into this functionality, this possibility. So I change here, I turn off the first layer. I go here to hard light, so I bring it out more. And then I go here to the next one and change it also to hard light. So it's getting strong. And what I can do now is that I hit the Alt key, press the Alt key on the keyboard, and go into this and this and this between. So if I turn it on, off, you can see it's a really boost of information. It brings a lot of details. Like this here. Remember, here go back to my navigator. We have here 100% view of the system, and if I go here into turn it off, and on. I think this is a very interesting point for imaging, for moon images or sun images. Another image I want to show you from last year, and also used APF-R, is this image here of the sun. It is taken with the same small lens, and if I have a closer look here, I'll make it bigger. It's the sun from last year, from May, so the small lens with 95 millimeters of aperture, the Herschel prisma, and I used the projection of the Morpheus Ocular 40 millimeter Nikon DF and all other data. But you can see here it's a much bigger size of the surface of the sun. You can see beautiful sunspots and flares and small sunspots and a lot of structure here. So this is maybe also a solution for this year solar eclipse or all other solar eclipses, and you can bring out really beautiful information and structure. And I want to show you something very special from last year also, is here a view of the Merkur transit taken with my Z14. But let me show you this with Photoshop. So here I go to Photoshop, and here I have already prepared the APF-R, and here is something different to all other APF-R demos I showed, because this here is starting with 0.7 blurring layers, 0.9 the next one. So I'm going below 1 pixel, and I can touch smaller information, deeper information inside every image, and it's not linear, not multiplied by 2. So you can see the values 1.4, 1.9, 2.7, 3.7, 4.7. So I added always 1 pixel, and then I add 60% more to 7.5 pixel blur radius. And you know already, maybe I have seen it with other APF-R videos. So what I'm doing, it's like I'm selecting here all and go to my filters and go to adding a smart filter. So, and when this is all done, I can show you the result, what's happening. So this is here my view. This is nearly finally processed. You can see here, go here in with 100% of view. Go here, this is Merkur, wonderful. And go down here to the sunspots, and you can see the surface of the sun, beautiful details. And finally, some tips or some information about other things with Photoshop to do to bring out the maximum information. I go here to the full screen, the full view of the image. I have here additional smart object. I activate it now, so it's boosting the information. I bring here all information back to the image. So I use first the highlight shadow functionality and the camera raw filter of Adobe Photoshop 2007 Creative Cloud 17, sorry. And here double click on the camera raw filter. That's very special. I can readjust the settings. I can readjust every adjustment I made with camera raw, and I can do everything, so a little bit of clarity and saturation, and I can go through every detail with this filter. I can adjust it and go back again, and so it's recalculated the camera raw filter into the image. And finally, something also I've showed with the transitions of the layers. I go here to saturation, double click here on the saturation. I boosted it not too much, so it's interesting. It's too much maybe. And you can double click here on the layer style panel, and so okay, go to the highlight, go to the shadows, or go to the lights, and you can see it's changing the saturation, totally gone. Then I hit the Alt key, open the whites, go to another side, open the blacks. So I can really fade in the information into the data. I can adjust it more, and it's not such a it's not so easy that the color is clipping. So it's maybe a possibility to do this. So you have to find out for your own how to optimize this for your images. But just let me show you again. This is the image, and I go here in to 100% view. Here's my Mercure. I turn it off. This is without. And I go here to my sunspots. This is without APF-R, and this is now with APF-R. Combine now the three smart objects, the layer blends changed, and then go here back to my final image. I think it's a nice way to do this, and especially this year is the solar eclipse. And I think you can use this also for the solar eclipse images, and I hope you like my idea. Thank you.